Okay, forget the usual policy papers today. We're doing a deep dive into something, well, much heavier, much more raw.
Yeah.
We're looking at the transcribed lyrics of Ann Wilson's song, Carry Me, and you can really feel the weight in these words, even just reading them on the page.
Oh, absolutely. When you lay them out like this, it stops being just a song, doesn't it? It becomes this whole narrative.
A story.
Exactly. And our mission today really is to unpack that intense emotional story. We're zeroing in on themes like, premature burden, losing yourself, and that desperate search for relief when it all just becomes too much.
And what just leaps out right away is the core contradiction. You've got the narrator performing resilience, being the strong one for everyone. But inside, things are just shattering. It all seems to boil down to that one question: can someone carry me?
That's it. That's the heart of the conflict. This requirement to be strong versus the very real desperate need to just be vulnerable.
Yeah, it's stark.
And the song sets up the stakes immediately. It's almost like narrative violence the way it starts.
I thought that too. The opening lines are really jarring. It's this incredibly rapid, forced jump in time.
The 15 to 23.
Yeah, I went to bed 15, I woke up 23. I mean, this 8 years of your youth just gone overnight.
It's more than just time passing, isn't it? That 8-year jump, it feels like a huge emotional toll paid up front, like a maturity tag.
But maturity checks, I like that.
It points to that moment, you know, a sudden trauma maybe, or some overwhelming responsibility that just throws your whole life off track.
Derails things completely.
Yeah, you didn't get to ease into adulthood. You were shoved. And that's why the whole thing feels like some kind of crazy, tragic dream. It wasn't earned. It was imposed.
Right. And the immediate result of being shoved like that, feeling totally out of sync with time. You see it right there. Truth is, I'm way too young to feel as old as I do. The weight of it all just overrides biology.
Exactly. Carrying a history you didn't live organically. And compounding that, this premature aging is the specific ache. No resolution.
No.
The lyrics say, so much for closure. And if you don't get that psychological closure on whatever caused the jump, well, that weight doesn't just go away.
It stays with you.
It stays active. It's a daily burden. The wound is still open, basically, while you're expected to act like a fully healed adult.
That's a really important point. It's not just the memory, it's the work of managing it every single day.
Absolutely. And that kind of pushes us into the next stage here, realizing this feeling of age isn't just internal, it's also being demanded from the outside.
Okay, so if that's the setup, this sudden traumatic aging, how quickly does the external pressure show up in the lyrics?
Oh, almost immediately.
Because it seems clear they had to grow up fast because people were relying on them. The pressure's right there. It ain't easy being strong when they're all counting on you.
And that shifts the focus, doesn't it? From the initial shock to the ongoing dynamic. It's almost like what psychologists sometimes call parentification.
Where the kid becomes the caregiver.
Right. Forced into being the emotional stabilizer for others. But because it's a performance for an audience, that's when the self-criticism kicks in.
So they develop this inner voice telling them to keep it together.
Yes, exactly. You hear it demanding control, demanding stoicism, probably echoing what they think everyone needs them to be. So, girl, pull yourself together. Don't you dare lose your composure.
Wow.
And it highlights this brutal internal conflict. What she actually needs is space to grieve, to fall apart maybe. But what she feels she has to deliver is this image of unwavering stability. The show must go on, you know?
But hang on, isn't telling yourself to pull yourself together sometimes necessary? Like, isn't that a coping mechanism we all use at first? Does the song critique that impulse itself or just show where it leads when taken too far?
That's a really sharp point. And yes, initially, it absolutely is a survival tactic. We all try to tough things out.
Right.
But the song shows us the price. It becomes a failure when the only strategy is pure emotional suppression, which is exactly what the narrator admits to. She says, I've got no time for healing, so I play the part, bottle up every single thing I'm feeling.
Literally choosing the performance over any kind of recovery.
Precisely. That phrase, play the part, is critical. It's intense emotional labor, acting strong, managing others' feelings while pushing down her own grief.
And that's how the external burden becomes an internal one, too.
Eventually, the effort of keeping up the act becomes heavier than whatever the original trauma was. That's what she means by it feels like it's all on my shoulders.
The performance itself becomes the weight of the world.
You got it. And that leads straight to the crisis point, doesn't it? That moment where she starts searching for the person she was before she suddenly woke up at 23.
Yeah, that search for the lost self is It's really heartbreaking, the way she keeps trying to find that little girl, that one I used to be.
And what's interesting is what that little girl represents. It's not just being young.
No.
It's innocence, it's ease, it's emotional freedom, it's everything if the trauma or the burden stole. She's actively mourning a version of herself she feels she had to sacrifice.
And losing that self is directly tied to just not being able to feel any lightness anymore. She's so weighed down, she can't even remember joy.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time that I felt young and free.
Yeah.
That's a complete shutdown of emotional freedom. It's not just missing fun, it's losing the ability to just be.
That's the depth of the crisis, exactly. And it builds relentlessly towards this climax, this huge, almost mythological statement about the burden.
Right.
The scale of it becomes cosmic. I carry the weight of the world.
That line forces the ultimate question, the breaking point, really.
Mm-hmm.
How much can one person take? She asks it point blank, right? How much can one heart take when it's taking on everything?
Mm-hmm.
Feels like she's moved past just asking for help
Mm.
to asking if survival is even possible on these fumes.
And the answer the song gives is, no, you can't sustain it. And that realization that she has to stop holding it all, that's what triggers the shift to the plea for support.
Right. Initially, it's pretty general, just to cry out into the void, hoping anything might offer release.
Right.
Can someone carry me?
But the shift in those final moments, that's absolutely crucial to understanding the song's core message, I think.
How so?
Well, she moves from asking for someone, potentially any human help, to a very specific singular address. And that transition, it marks the end of the self-reliant performance. It's full acceptance that this burden is just too big for human shoulders alone.
So the requests become really targeted, moving beyond someone.
Specific, yeah.
Jesus, can you carry me? And then that definitive surrender. I need you to carry me. It's like admitting the weight of the world needs something transcendent.
It connects the emotional crisis directly to a spiritual answer. When the weight feels cosmic, maybe the solution has to feel cosmic too. And that surrender, that's the ultimate vulnerability, isn't it? Realizing the Stoic act has failed and only real outside help can lift the weight.
But I really like that it doesn't just end there. On surrender alone, there's this little flicker of hope right at the end. The idea that the self she lost might not be gone forever. She wonders, maybe that little girl is still somewhere inside of me.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It suggests the solution isn't only external help, but maybe finding a way to let that younger, freer self exist again. Perhaps protected now by the help she's finally asked for.
So if we just step back and look at the whole arc, what we've really traced is the breakdown of enforced self-reliance.
Right?
It starts with the sudden, tragic burden that forces emotional shutdown and performance. It moves through the isolation of carrying this immense weight until she hits a wall, an unsustainable crisis.
Yeah.
And the journey concludes not with self-rescue, but in the vulnerability of asking for specific, powerful help, which finally opens the door to potential healing.
It feels incredibly relevant, especially, for anyone out there who's always been seen as the responsible one, the strong one. It really highlights the power of knowing the difference between being strong for others and actually needing genuine support yourself and recognizing when the performance just has to stop.
Which kind of leaves us with this final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. The song really puts two ideas of strength side by side.
Okay.
There's the self-reliance that's demanded early on, that pull yourself together command. And then there's the profound vulnerability of that final plea, I need you to carry me.
Stoicism versus asking for help.
Exactly. So what does this source material, these lyrics, ultimately suggest about where true strength lies? Is it in keeping up the performance? Or is it in the courage to finally admit you can't carry the weight all by yourself anymore? Something to think about next time someone asks you for help. Or maybe, more importantly, next time you need to ask for it yourself.